How's it going, everyone? I'm the one and only Kaiju Sage. Welcome back to a new video, and in today's video, we're gonna be finally starting the saga that is covering Diablo 4. It's finally time. This weekend comes the early access beta, where we can begin to actually, record and do things and show stuff off. It's gonna be coming up on the 17th. I plan to be streaming that, so if you are interested in that, I'll be streaming that right here on YouTube. Currently, I don't have it set up for Twitch or anything else, but I do have a YouTube stream set up. I've done a couple of times, so I'm going to try and set that up, be streaming, be playing. I'll be playing the, open beta. It'll only be the first act and the first 25 levels, but I plan to play the sorceress, and then if I finish the sorceress, I'm going to play the, probably the rogue. It's only available for the 17th and 19th. It's only going to be the sorceress, rogue, and barbarian. But yeah. Anyway, all that out of the way, all that to say, I can't wait to cover Diablo 4, and I'm looking forward to it. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and just help support the channel. I thank you all so much for continuing to support and continuing to help the channel grow. I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading very much. I just didn't feel like uploading, and there wasn't anything new in Path of Exile to cover. But now we finally have Diablo 4. It's finally time to start beginning to cover that. I'm going to start covering it, making videos, and then the next weekend after, we have the next open beta with all 5 classes, so I'll have even more stuff to cover and talk about and do. So I look forward to it. Hope you all look forward to it as well. Come check out the stream on Friday and potentially Saturday, Sunday. If I'm playing it, I will try to stream it, and I will try to make some stuff out of it. So thank you all so much. Let's dive in and talk about today. What are the things that I am most concerned about for Diablo 4? This game is going to be a great, great game as long as they do a few things well. There's a few slight red flags for me in terms of Diablo 4. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about why they are red flags and what they can do to avoid these things. So for starters, let's start off with of course, the elephant in the room that everybody's had an opinion on. Everybody's chimed in on this point. The monetization. We've seen 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉𝘿, 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉𝙍, and other larger content creators, streamers, numerous content creators alongside them. It's not just them; those are just the first 2 that popped into my head. Have covered this issue and talked about the question of monetization. How are they going to be doing it? And they have put out, if you have not seen it yet and you are still one of those naysayers who say, oh, this game is they're just gonna monetize everything, they're just gonna make it pay to win, you're gonna have to pay every 10 levels. There was some joke 𝙀𝙀𝙋𝘼𝙉𝙍 made or something where he's like, every 10 levels you gotta pay $35 to get up to a thing on the battle pass and stuff, etc., etc. Total joke. It's all a meme. They're not going to do that. They are not so stupid that they would brick their game in a monetization model. It is already a full price game, so you are paying for a full priced game. They have confirmed there will be full price paid expansions, probably costing like $20, $30 each, or give or take. And then there will be purchasable cosmetics and a premium battle pass tier, a premium battle pass purchase thing, where you can get cosmetics and extra cosmetics if you pay, and other things. All this to say, the game will not be pay to win unless they just decide to just drink, some amount of crazy juice and just decide that, yeah, we really don't care what the players think. We really don't care what the community thinks. We're just going to do whatever. It would reasonably nuke a large, portion of the players, because they would see, oh, I have to pay to do this. But the realist real thing that I won't go off on a tangent on really is, it actually wouldn't hurt the player base that much. The player base at large would still play it. The majority of the millions of people that are going to play Diablo 4 are still going to play Diablo 4, even if it's pay to win. They don't care. Look at Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal succeeded, even though it got blasted on social media, and other things. it succeeded. It's still succeeding. It's still making money. And so, pay to win does not necessarily equal kill game, but it is a red flag. Let's move on to the next thing. That's my thing. The way they can avoid this is just stick to exactly what they've said, and I believe they will. Stick to buy the game, buy the expansions. That's it. If you want cosmetics and things, buy the battle pass. There you go. Easy peasy. You can make cosmetics of anything in this game, and I don't care. You can make as many cosmetics as you want, as you can, and I do not care. Do that. Next topic. Open world. Let's talk about the open world for a second. What about open world games scares me the most? Does it feel alive? Does it feel like a world? Does it feel like an open world, right? If it's just got a bunch of empty space, that's just a blank map. That does not equate to a good open world experience to me, right? If a game has an open world like Breath of the Wild, for instance, that's the example that a lot of people point to. There is stuff around almost every corner, every hill you climb, every mountain you climb to the peak of, there's probably going to be something there. Or there's some enemies around in fields. They're spaced out a certain way. If this game has too much space between things, then it's going to feel empty. And if it has no space between things, it's going to feel over bloated and crowded and gross because you're going to constantly having to be fighting packs. It's a really weird balance, and that's why I don't envy game designers and game, level builders and stuff for having to do this, because it is such a weird, seesaw balance where you have to do we put too much? Do we put too little? And you have to try to find this perfect equilibrium where if you mess with it even a little, it's going to start to teeter, and then you have to okay, we have to pull it back, we have to pull it back, we have to do this, we have to do this. And it's just a constant balancing act, just like in a previous video where I talked about skill balance. It's the same thing. When you make a change to something, there's always something else that's going to lean another way, and then lean another way, and then lean another way, and you have to play with that. So open world games are fun as long as you get the amount of content right. I think they will. I have total faith in them. They are working on this day in, day out. They're getting beta feedback. And so if people give them beta feedback and are like, hey, this feels kind of terrible, it's kind of empty, can you maybe add some more enemies? Or if it's the opposite, if they're like, hey, I feel like every 2 feet I'm getting attacked by a pack of mobs, can I please get a little more breathing room? Then they can fix these things. This is an easy fix. This is just one thing that could potentially be a speed bump in the success of Diablo 4. Next topic. Let's talk about the infinite build potential, the infinite, skill build, replayability and stuff. The skill tree. Let's talk about the skill tree, the passive tree, whatever it's going to end up looking like and being like. Let's talk about it for a minute. Okay, so why is this a red flag? Why is having such a complex thing a red flag? Look at it in terms of Path of Exile. I have a Path of Exile majority audience probably, so you guys will get this, point. And if anybody who doesn't know, go for a second and go to Google and Google Path of Exile skill tree. It should be the first thing. There should be a PoE skill tree dot something at the top of your search results pretty much. And you should see, it'll pull up a simulation of the Path of Exile skill tree. And you're going to look at that and you're going to be like, what am I looking at? You're going to be sitting there looking at this and you're like, what in the hell am I looking at? And I don't want Diablo to be that way, and I don't think Diablo will be that way. Diablo has never been that way. Diablo is the simple, easy to understand. You just create a character, you go in there, you have a linear tree pretty well, and you just do it. I think this game is going to be the same way. I think it's going to have more customizability in terms of you have a tree that can still branch out into weird ways and weird paths. Don't have so many options that a player can't figure out a path on their own. If you get to a point where a player feels like they need a build guide to play the game, that is problematic. That is where Path of Exile is really hard. I have tried to get numerous friends, like probably at this point 8, 10 plus friends into the game. And of them, I got one. I got one friend of a set of like 10 avid video gamers. These are not like, oh, guys that like kind of play video games. 10 friends, I got one. I got 10% success rate because the skill tree turns them off so much and the complexity of the game turns them off so much. I had to send them Path of Building and all these other exterior tools. Don't make Diablo 4 an exterior tools game. People are going to want to min-max. People are going to follow build guides to get the maximum damage out of things. The absolute min-maxed peak of things, they're going to do that. But don't make it like feel mandatory is the best way to put it, I guess. Just make sure that it has a depth for people who want to explore, but a simplicity where there is just a path that says do a massive fuck ton of damage, and it doesn't matter what path you take alongside this, you will just do damage and be okay. Your build will still function. Just make sure that that is an option. Make sure that the game has a simple option and then has more depth that can lead to other better possible routes for the players that want to min-max, but it's still playable, right? That's all I'm saying. Anyway. The last thing that I would leave it on, pretty much, those are the biggest, like, mainstay points that I kind of, like, thought of and thought to myself, like, these are the things that could potentially brick the game. I would say the last thing is the itemization. I've seen a little bit of stuff about the itemization over the last few days, that they're going to be having the thing where you can take a unique item, a legendary item, you know, the like orange rarity, you know, bright golden orange color, like where you can take the specific legendary power off that item and put it onto a rare item, which is, you know, the yellow items, the things that have things like that. And they're going to make it so that a rare item can have 5 properties and a unique property attached onto the bottom of it. But a unique item will only have 4 properties and its unique thing. So in other words, they're trying to emphasize rare items with a like pulled from unique power. This does concern me a little, but at the same time, I think it is the right choice. Like in Diablo 3, I hate min-maxing unique items. I hate farming for a primal ancient for a 250 hours for the exact primal ancient that I want. And, you know, like that, it just feels bad. Same thing in Path of Exile. Like if I farm a unique, it's like, okay, cool, but I'm still inevitably going to have to get a rare item to replace this at the final end game version of this. I think it's a good pursuit. It's just a thing where they need to be careful of it and they need to watch carefully people's perception of it. In the beta, especially, if we get to see that at all, I don't know if that's an end game system or not, but they need to monitor that. They need to monitor how people receive it and how it is observed. So that's all I've got. That's all I'm thinking about. These are the things that are on my mind about Diablo 4. I am extremely excited and pumped. If you're new here, again, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. Comment down below. What are the things you're concerned about for Diablo 4 or excited about for Diablo 4? I'd love to hear from you. If I enjoy your comment, I'll give it a heart. And yeah, don't forget, like I said, I'm going to be streaming on Friday. I don't know what time the thing is going to drop, but if it's live, I will be, you know, whenever it goes live and I'm awake, it'll probably be around like noon Central Time. I will probably be awake and up and ready with my cup of tea and my breakfast eaten and everything ready to go. I will be ready to jam and play, assuming it's released. It may not release until the afternoon. I'll check on that. I'll make an update in tomorrow's video with the release time figured out because I forgot to Google it before this recording. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you all enjoy the video and I hope you have a great day.